Hey, how's it going? This is Jared,
And this is Hunter.
and we are your hosts for the Nyctomnia podcast. So, today's a very special day. The very first podcast, not only is it the first podcast, but it is also a video podcast. So, I'm pretty excited about that. We have a few topics today we're going to be going over. We're going to be going over our thoughts on Outlast, the NES Classic, and pretty much whatever that pops into our head. We have a little bit of an announcement. We can't give too much away, but we are going to be talking about some stuff. So let's go ahead and start off with the NES Classic if you would want to, because I know that's something
Yeah,
that
I'd
you're
love
super
to,
pumped
man.
about and something that I was super pumped about. Wish I could have
Oh,
got.
yeah, dude. It was such a journey. I can explain kind of my journey of getting it if that's what we want to
Dude,
do.
go
That'd be
for
pretty
it.
cool. Cool. So as everyone probably knows by now, at least, that they sent out their final shipment of the NES Classic to Best Buys, and that was like 2 days ago, um, from this podcast date at least. And yeah, they were the last shipment, and there wasn't going to be a whole lot of them, so I knew like I had to get one. And one of my roommates actually, my roommate actually has one, and I was able to play a little bit of it, and I loved it. And I was like, dude, I have to get this for like myself and for my family because they grew up on this console, and I never really had the chance to play it growing up. But anyways, I got to Best Buy, right? I got to Best Buy at like 6 in the morning, and I thought that there would be like a huge line. And my mom took me over there, and we got there, and thankfully there was only like probably about 10 people in line, if that, when I got there. So I lucked out, and I stood in line from probably about 6 to 8:30, and then they passed out some tickets, and then after that we had to come back and pick it up by like 11 a.m. So we were able to leave, get some breakfast, and then we came back. And the thing that made me feel kind of bad was like when I got there, there was a bunch of people lined up, right? And I was like, oh, I don't think these people have tickets because I didn't see them here earlier, and I'm pretty sure like you have to have tickets in order to like for sure get one. So I asked them, I was like, did you guys get any tickets or anything? And they were like, oh no, were you supposed to? And I was like, oh, yeah, you're supposed to get tickets in order to like for sure get a copy. And so it sucked, dude, because they were pretty bummed out. You know what I mean? Like it always sucks when that happens, but I was able to tell them at least. But that's one thing like about Nintendo that kind of disappointed me, I guess, is I understand like the limited like quantity of them and all that, but I just kind of felt bad for the people that couldn't get one. So, anyways, but I did go inside Best Buy. I was able to pick mine up, and yeah, I don't think there was more than like 24 of them though. There's probably, yeah, I think there was about like 24, maybe even less. There wasn't a whole lot, and I lucked out. I was number 16.
Ooh.
So yeah, I was pretty close, but I lucked out, and I'm pretty sure the other people weren't able to get one, which kind of sucks. I wish that everyone could get one, but I'm just gonna show it off real quick. So here it is, and it's such a little device, and I mean, you can't put like any games in here. They're all built on here. You guys probably know that, but in case you don't, there are 30 games of the best, in my opinion, the best NES games. There are some games that they probably missed out on, but for the most part, like this is perfect. It has a HDMI port in the back, so you can plug it in right into your HD TV, and it has like a bunch of different settings on it, which is really cool. And here's the controller, of course. The length is, I don't know if you can see very much,
Yeah.
but the
Looks about
length is,
3 feet.
yeah, the length is the only complaint that I think people have. But thankfully, though, you can buy a extender, and you can also buy like 10, like I think like I don't know, like 10 feet cables or something like that. Like Nintendo sells like official like longer controller cords and all that for these types of controllers, which is really nice. But the standard one, yeah, it's not too long, so that kind of sucks. But overall, though, I'm really happy I got it. Like, I feel bad for everyone else who was trying to get one that couldn't. But I mean, I'm going to be streaming a lot more with this son of a gun, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, man, I mean, honestly, like, I'm really glad I got it. But I really wish they could have put out a lot more of them, you know. And if we would have known this like way back when they first came out with these, dude, we could have invested into like a bunch of them, in you know, and gave them away or sold them to like our friends and family, or you know, anyone else who needed one, you know.
I'm a hustler. I would have bought it for 60, sold it for 300.
Yeah,
Just
well,
like everybody else is doing.
Yeah, that's what people are doing. Like some people only showed up to this last shipment to resell them, and they're making bank on eBay and Amazon or wherever they're selling it. You know, I know they go for like 300 now. It's crazy, dude.
I would have bought about 4 of them. I would have kept one, but the other 3 I would have not done anything with them. I would have left them in the original packaging. I wouldn't open them. I'd wait. I don't know if it would be best to wait before the SNES launch. The SNES Classic, by the way, which is the for those watching, it is the basically what he has, but the SNES version, which is it is confirmed, correct, by Nintendo.
Yeah, they got the patent for it. Okay, so it's pretty much it's gonna be confirmed. It's gonna be a thing, and I'm sure we'll be hearing about it very soon.
Dude, the day they do an N64 Classic, it's mine.
Yeah, I really hope they do. But moving on to like the Super Nintendo one, if you want, I'm really excited about that because I grew up on Super Nintendo. Like Super Nintendo was more my jam. The NES is awesome, but I never had an NES growing up. Really, I've only played it like around. So the Super Nintendo is my jam for sure, and there's definitely more than 30 games that are really good on the Super Nintendo. I hope they add on like 50. I'd say 50 is a good number, or maybe even more, like 80. I don't know, like just a good amount of games. And you know, of course, it's going to be probably really small, like the NES, maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, it should be really cool though, dude. Either way, like there's so many games to choose from the Super Nintendo as well. So I hope they pick the best choices. And yeah, this time around though, dude, we have to make sure we grab a lot of them. And I hope everyone who's listening as well can grab them while they're even going to be around.
I'd get them out of the first shipment, first or second shipment. First, right. I wouldn't say first because everybody's going to grab them on the first. And then you're going to go to Best Buy or wherever, and you're going to go look for one, and they're not going to be there. Right. Second shipment, people who want to get them most likely already have them by that time. Do not wait till last shipment. That's what Hunter did. He waited till last shipment, and he almost got ripped. Not ripped off, but like rest in peace. Like
it was.
He had to wait.
Close.
He had to wait in line.
Like
he had to wait in line to get one, and the people behind him most likely didn't get one.
Which sucks.
And with Nintendo, there is a tendency to underproduce consoles and merchandise and things like that. I mean, after the Wii, we've noticed that the Switch was selling out. The Wii U was selling. Well, I don't know about the Wii U. Not a lot of whole people were buying the Wii U. They thought it was
I'm not really sure
about but a lot of the merchandise, the Legend of Zelda merchandise, meaning remember the 3DS Majora's Mask?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep,
that was.
But that's probably hard to find. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. They think it's the underproduce, and their inventory is really bad. I guess they assume that only 100 people are gonna buy their things. So by the time you go to get there, they're already sold out and they're gone. And it's even like that when it's not limited items, when it's not special edition.
And the reason, I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons, you know, as well. But they started these consoles out as just like a limited thing anyway. So it was always going to be a limited thing. But I know they make them themselves. They don't want to pay like a different company to make these, or else they probably could have made a lot more. But yeah, I wish they would have put out more though, honestly. I don't know like numbers, of course, but yeah, I just feel bad for anyone who didn't get one. So if you missed out on the NES, like, you know, you could always, if you know you really want an NES, you could always just go buy an original one and get all the games you want and just go crazy on that. But this was a piece of history like I had to get, you know.
And also has HDMI.
Right.
Like, for instance, with my TV.
Like, I can hook it up through my Elgato. Like, I can stream with it. Like, it's so much nicer to have the HDMI stuff going. And you can actually change, like, the settings. Like, there's, like, you can change it to, like, more, like, old school, like, pixelated, like, on the NES. Or you can change, or not the, NES. I'm getting confused with that and Super Nintendo. Yeah, NES, and then you can switch it so it's like, yeah, like I said, like kind of more pixelated, like old school, and then you can switch it also on the screen to look more like a CRT TV, like old school TV.
Yeah.
And like you can give it that old school like retro look, which is really cool.
That is
And
sick.
yeah, it's just the settings on it are really cool. Like I can show you guys more like in a stream or like maybe in a video. Like you and I can do a video like a review in the future.
That would be
something.
awesome. I'm down to do that.
All right, yeah, that'd be really cool. Just kind of showcasing what we think about it. But it's definitely a piece of history. Like we probably won't encounter it ever again. So that's why I had to get it. I wasn't originally planning on getting it because I didn't think I had a chance. But I was like, well, we got to try. And then it ended up working out, and I lucked out. And I'm really happy I did.
No.
But,
the reason why I'm very happy about the HDMI port on the NES, I know some people, especially a lot of purists, are like, there was no HDMI on the NES. Why are they doing this? Well, there's people like me who do not have CRT TVs. In fact, my HD TV only has HDMI. There is no AVI cable. My other TV does have AVI. However, when I plug it in, it's only black and white because they're missing that other AVI cable. It's only 2 when you're supposed to have 3. So like when I was playing my N64, I was playing Duke Nukem in black and white, and it was just atrocious. So the advantages of having an HDMI port on the NES and hopefully the SNES, I don't see why they wouldn't, but I can't say anything because I don't know because it's not out yet. It's not official. But is the advantages is people like me who have a TV that do not have AVI ports, they only have HDMI, and you can play it too. Also, you can hook it into a monitor if you want to throw it in on your computer monitor or whatever it may be, and play away. And another thing too is some people go, why spend $60 on basically an emulated machine? It's just an emulator, right? I can get that on my laptop for free, And I'm like, well, I understand that. I do understand that. However, it's always good and it feels good, at least to me, to have the physical copy of something. Instead of just downloading Majora's Mask and speedrunning it and trying to be all Clint Stevens about stuff. Like being able to have the physical item in my hands and be like, yes, this is not the NES per se. Yes, I can't put cartridges in it, but I have the machine, and it's for people like you and me who love playing the NES, who love playing the SNES and the N64 and so on and so forth. It's good. It feels good to have that physical item, and I think that's what's so cool about that, and the advantage of this.
Well. Right. And I could have got an original, like maybe one day, but I know we can find those, wherever. But this is, look how cute it is. You guys can't resist.
Men don't use the word cute; they use the word adorable.
Yeah,
but it is really cool. Especially compared to people go, oh, it only has 30 games. I know it's not an NES.
Yeah.
It's not an NES. It's
not an original
It's
there's
just
not
it's for
games
fun.
you want on it. There's a lot more games that are out there that are probably really good that aren't on the NES Classic. Yeah. And that's fine. That's why the original one exists, And I think the games they did choose on this guy is really good.
Yeah, I saw the lineup of games over at your roommate's house in your place. It was actually pretty impressive. A lot of the games that I really enjoyed playing when I was younger. No, I was not alive for the time that the NES was released and super popular. However, I had older brothers who are 10, 13 years, 14 years older than me. So the stuff that they had when they were kids, I got when I was a kid too. So I grew up on a lot of the stuff that they grew up on, NES, SNES, stuff like that. And it's a walk down memory lane. It is very nostalgic. And it's just another thing too is if it was going to be a console, because again, talking back, there's only 30 games on it. It's not a console. If it was going to be a console, Nintendo would not sell it for $60. It would be $100 and something if it was a real full blown NES console with HDMI ports. You can put your cartridges. It's just a little emulator box.
Just a little. It's just a little piece of history that you want to just cherish and be like, wow, I got that. That's cool. It is what it is, and it's great the way it is. So that's what makes me so stoked about the Super Nintendo one, is because I know they're going to do a great job with that one. I hope they put out more though.
Oh my god, please so.
I really hope so, but I know like Nintendo doesn't like they don't do that all the time. So I mean, I want to get my hopes up. Like I want to advise anyone to be like, oh, they're gonna do so many this time because I doubt that. It's gonna be probably just as low as this time, but maybe they'll listen to us a little more and make some more. I mean, who knows? But either way, we're gonna get one if we can.
The good
We
news,
have to get one.
yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm gonna be pulling the label off my water bottle real fast, so that way
Oh no,
I
that's
don't
cool.
brand
Drink here.
anybody.
I
But
got my Kickstarter.
I know. What
yeah.
I was saying is, going back to at this time we're kind of advancing to the SNES at this point in the conversation. So if you want to try, if there is a store nearby, like a Best Buy, or I don't know, I'm sure GameStop sells them,
Right.
but you could go there. Don't necessarily take everything I say for, take it with a grain of salt. If you want to go there for a shipment, go for it. The reason why I'm not going to, and I'll wait a little bit, is because by the time the first shipment goes out and people buy it, you get to see reviews. You get to see whether or not the console. I just said it's not even like a real console. The emulator machine, the SNES, whatever, Classic. By the time that comes out for shipment, people's bought it. You will know whether or not it's worth buying. If, for instance, you buy it in the first shipment and you look at it and there's only 5 games on there. I'm just coming up with a random number. You're gonna be pissed off. So that's always the plus of waiting a little bit, but don't wait too long. Otherwise, you won't get one. You were this close to not getting anything that day. You wait in line for 2 hours, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
2 or 3 hours, and you were by the skin of your...
It was like 6 to 10, pretty much, was the whole waiting process of actually getting one in my hands.
Yeah,
and,
so you were just
even
the
then,
skin of your
like,
teeth.
Right.
You almost
even
didn't
when
get
I got
one.
the receipt, dude, I was like, I don't know, like I'm not gonna get hyped unless I see it physically, like, and I'm buying it.
Yeah, I know.
And then once I got it, I was like, yes. And then like I felt bad because everyone else, like who didn't get a ticket, didn't know about it.
Screw everybody else. They should have learned.
And everyone else was like really disappointed. And my mom wanted to give me a high five, and I was like, let's wait till we get outside, and then we can like celebrate. Because I don't want to be like, yeah, like, and everyone else is like,
you're gonna be that guy who goes outside. You grab the NES Classic box and shove it in their face. You're like, look what I got, you sorry sons of bitches.
Yeah,
and you shove it in their face. They're crying. They're like, but I wanted to get one.
I'd feel so bad. Dude.
I know.
That's why I felt bad. So I was like, let's not high five until like we get outside to a point where like we're not like, yeah. I didn't want to brag in front of people who didn't get it, because honestly, I was almost one of those guys, and I would have been bummed out as well.
I know, dude. I would have cried for you.
Get it, and I couldn't, and it sucks. I don't like that Nintendo does that, but it is the way it is. You know what I mean? And whoever got this though, like, good on you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you got it.
And if you didn't get it this round, get the SNES when it comes out.
Yeah, just get the Super Nintendo one.
That's gonna be so
like
sick,
on this one, you're gonna pay a lot of money probably to try and get this. But if you can get a good deal somehow, then I say go for it. It's definitely worth it. It's a lot of fun. But the Super Nintendo one for sure. Like, I'm definitely gonna get it. Probably first shipment in my opinion, just for me, just in case. Like, I won't be like something will happen and I can't get the second shipment. But yeah, I can't wait for more details, because there's got to be a lot more games on there, and I can't wait.
I hope there's about 50 or 60 at the least.
Yeah, exactly. And they might charge a little more for it, but I don't know. They might charge the same price.
Yeah,
so.
I hope they stay at the 60. That's a reasonable price.
Probably will.
I think that's a good one. I think the 60 is a pretty good. That makes it able for almost anybody to pick one up. You're not dropping $300 on a console or whatever. For instance,
right.
That's another thing I wanted to mention too about waiting. If you wait and you can see the reviews and stuff like that, because look what happened with the Switch. A lot of people bought them and then immediately they're having issues with it. They bought it day one. Wait till a couple shipments out and then get one. That way you know what you're getting. Because I almost went out day one and bought a Switch, and guess what would have happened? $300 down the toilet. In fact, I could have used that $300 better as toilet paper than as buying a Switch. Everybody always messages me. I gotta turn my... No, leave me alone.
Yeah, I know. I had to turn my phone off.
But, so I'm gonna wait. When the SNES comes out, I'm gonna wait a couple days, maybe 3 days. Find reviews, probably watch watch some. I'm just trying to stay away from IGN. Some other stuff like
it's
that,
always
and
good
get
to
some.
do research just in case there's any problems. Like the NES, as far as I know, the classic at least. I mean, I don't think that has any problems. Like I don't think it does anyways. I could be wrong, but I haven't encountered any. But you never know. Like just in case, definitely do some research. Make sure it's worth it to you. You know, make sure the games are good. Make sure, it's everything you want. But definitely pick it up if you can before it's gone.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll do like, I don't know if they'll do any more past that. I don't know if they'll do like a Nintendo 64 one because I don't know, just because they're still pretty common. I would say like I see Nintendo 64s a lot at like different game stores and such. But if they do like a updated like a version of it, like a Nintendo 64 Classic or whatever it's going to be called, then that would be pretty awesome too. And that console, like Nintendo 64 has so many great games. So I mean, all my money would be blown on like getting all those, dude.
Oh yeah,
like, all the classics if they come out. Like, yeah,
do you think they'll do an N64 Classic?
I hope so.
But if they did, I would buy so many of those.
That'd be pretty cool, but it's hard to say, you know. But yeah, I mean, they might though, because they realize like, wow. I mean, I don't know if they knew how much success they were going to get off this NES Classic.
Oh, but it did.
And then they realized, like, and maybe they did know all along, but either way, like, yeah, they're like, holy crap, we're getting a lot of sales off this. Then they're like, well, we should make a Super Nintendo one. So I'm glad that they decided to do that. And that should be officially announced, hopefully this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, like, it shouldn't be too hard to, like, make and get out in the world. So, but yeah, guys, look out for that. And we'll keep updated on that, too, with podcasts and such.
Yeah, basically, long story short, buy them up while they last. Here's what I'm going to do. You don't have to do the same thing as me, to you viewers out there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 3 or 4 of them. I'm going to keep one for myself. I'm going to wait until people want them, and then I'm going to sell them for a lot of money. Just like, I mean, the NES Classic, the last shipment was just a couple days ago. And before the last shipment was even sent, they were so scarce that... Hey, everybody, has scarce here. No, no, that they were so scarce that people were already buying and selling them for $300, and actually people were buying them for $300. You know, it wasn't like someone was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell this for $300," and no one buys it. I mean, some of them were selling for $300 because they're so limited, and like that goes back to Nintendo having there's such a shortage on their inventory, and not only that, but this is a limited run, so not only is they going to be limited because of limited run and special edition stuff, but their inventory is always super low anyways. So buy them up while they last. If you want, resell them, make some money on it. That's what I'm going to try to do. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's okay. They're only $60 a pop. But moving on, I know you have not played it, but have you seen... Yeah, you did. You watched me stream it. Outlast 2.
Oh, yeah. I did watch you stream it. Yeah. Dude, that's a... crazy topic.
No spoilers in here, by the way.
No spoilers. No,
I'm just telling the viewers I'm not going to give spoilers.
Right. And I don't really know very much anyways, because the farthest I've seen in the game was what you streamed, so I'm
that's as far as I've seen in the game. I'm going in blind.
Right, and I'm just going to hold off too and watching like anyone else stream it, because I don't want to know anything. Like, I want to experience the game like with you. Like, I want to see you play it. Like, my opinion is probably like, I don't know, it might be different than yours, just because I wasn't like a huge fan of the first game, I guess, and that's just more of me being like I'm like, you know, like
you
just a critic.
I'm very
like
picky
more
on
of like old school like horror gamer. Like, I like a lot of old school horror games, and like, so it's hard for me to get into the newer ones, but I get why people are into it, and like, I'm not talking bad about it. I didn't get into Outlast 1 very much, but Outlast 2 though, you know, I gave it a watch when you were streaming it, and that game's disturbing, man. That game is it's pretty crazy, and the atmosphere is pretty good in it. I was impressed with the atmosphere so far.
Yeah. So I wasn't story-wise. I wasn't too, even the game-wise, I wasn't too really into Outlast 1. But I did do, for anybody who's watching this and doesn't really know anything about my background, I was a speedrunner. I was in the Outlast speedrunning community for a long time. I've beaten the game in right around 31 minutes on Nightmare. I used to do the insane speedruns, but I just like, the game is fun to speedrun. But if you play the game through it and you do a basically 100, not 100%, but if you did that even too, but basically no out of bounds glitchless run, it's kind of boring. The story isn't there really. I understand
that's kind of what threw me off too, honestly.
Yeah, but it's fun to speedrun, you know.
I mean, I never gave it much of a chance, so to be fair on my end, but it just didn't look as extremely appealing to me. But yeah, I mean, more power to everyone who likes it. That's cool. Like it's a scary series for sure.
But the thing is with Outlast 2 is I've already noticed that Outlast 1, the full game is just a couple hours long. Even if you don't know what you're doing, it's only a few hours long. It's not like 10 or 12 or 15. There's, I believe, 6 or 8 chapters in Outlast 2. I have played for about 4 hours, and I've only just finished the first chapter. Some people were saying that this guy is beating in around 10 hours. Some people 12, 15 hours. That's a long game compared to 2-hour game, pretty much.
Yeah, compared to the first one, they put a lot of work into this one. I feel like a lot more. Like they had more resources to make the second one.
Yeah, I was able to do a insane speedrun on Outlast 1 in under 40 minutes. Insane is where crazy. If you get hit at all, pretty much, if you get hit at all and you die, you start all the way back over to the very first part of the game. You spawn next to the car and you're running into the asylum. So even if you're right at the end and you die, you start all the way over to the beginning of the game. And I could beat it in about 40 to 50 minutes. That's how short the game was. This is such a long game. The atmosphere is amazing. There's a couple things that annoy me.
Some things, yes.
And I for instance, none of these things are spoilers. Everything you see has been shown in the demo, has been shown in trailers. Everything I'm mentioning is in the demo and trailers. I'm making sure of that. But the lady with the pickaxe or whatever the hell that thing is, she is so OP. She will teleport.
Yeah, it's kind
of
annoying.
I don't think she's supposed to teleport. But there's times where I would hide in a barrel. She'd be coming around. I'd be like, okay, she's gone. I'd run past. I'd run about 15 seconds down. All of a sudden, boom, out of a doorway. I'm like, there's no way, because she walks slower than me, and she wasn't chasing me. But she popped out of a doorway that was on the other side of where I was going. I'm like, that makes no sense. How does she teleport? She usually doesn't teleport.
It's kind of like, it's definitely scary, like the first few times, but I can see how it gets kind of old having to do that, a couple times.
Yeah.
Like, too much, I guess.
But, so there's that. And then again, this was day one. I bought it on release day, so there hasn't been any patches for it that I'm aware of. There hasn't been, it's day one. So for a day one release, it's actually really, really, really good. But another thing I was noticing is that sometimes you're not able to hide. For instance, I believe you were watching my stream when this happened. I got super, super frustrated. I was mad. I was trying to hide underneath the bed. It would not let me. I was hitting the bed and just walking to the left. I'm like, no, go under the bed. It was just hitting the bed. That was it. It wasn't going underneath. And the thing is, I was like, what the heck? And then the people busted in the door and killed me. And I was so upset.
That was so lame.
That close.
Honestly.
I was that close to beating that part. And I went to go hide in the bed and it wouldn't let me. And that's when I just was like, I checked my head, and I didn't really check my headphones, but I felt like it.
Yeah, but almost. But that was frustrating because
that was heavily frustrating.
Yeah. There's some things they definitely got to patch up in the future.
The atmosphere, for one, a lot better than Outlast 1.
I think so too. It's crazy.
The story behind Outlast 2, I have not seen the ending yet. I'm going in this completely blind. The most I know of this game is as far as I've gotten.
Which was like chapter 1, I think we beat, or you beat. Was it chapter 1, chapter 2? I can't remember.
Yeah, that was weird. My recording just stopped. Okay, syncing up. There we go. Yeah, so I beat chapter 2. No, I didn't even beat chapter 2. I'm in chapter 2.
Okay, you're in chapter 2.
I'm like 1/6. I don't know if there's 6 chapters or 8 chapters in it. But I just beat Genesis. I'm on the other whatever it's called.
Okay, yeah.
But
And that took a long time too.
Yeah, it did. It
Honestly.
took hours. I mean,
Like
like
after
4 hours
you
to beat
beat
the first
that, I was
chapter.
like, wow, are we almost done with the game? It's
I
like,
me
nope.
too. I was like, I looked on like the wiki because I was like, how many chapters is there? And apparently there's like chapters within chapters. So the first chapter has like 11 chapters,
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's a it's like a long game compared to the first one. So
I could
that's good though.
I think of it as a series. Like chapter 1 is like season 1 has 11 episodes. Chapter 2 is like season 2. You know what I mean? So there's like
Right,
six seasons or chapters, but each one has like 11 episodes to that chapter.
Right.
It's not like an episode game. It's not like some of the Resident Evil games or anything like that. I'm not, it's one full game, but I'm just trying to explain it in a way that makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
now the I haven't been that scared in a long time playing a game. I was spooked by playing Resident Evil 7, but Outlast 2 is fantastic. The story behind it, you could tell they put a lot of work in Outlast 2. The story behind it's fantastic. God, it looks so damn good on PC.
Yeah, the graphics are really good.
And
Really impressive.
And for those PC people out there who enjoy playing their games on PC and not necessarily console, Outlast 2 is no longer FPS capped. At least to the extent of which I play. I play at around 144, because I have 144 hertz monitor, so I go right around 144 frames a second. Outlast 1 had a 60 FPS cap. This game does not. I was able to get to 144 hertz or 144 FPS and beyond in this game. So that's good news for us PC players. I used to have to go into the OL engine files for Outlast 1, and I would have to change the FPS cap from 60 to 144. Actually, I used to put 147. Not sure why I put the extra 2, but I always do. And it glitched the game out, and it was unplayable. You can only really play it at 60 FPS. This is not FPS capped, and that is fantastic. That makes me so happy. I was worried that it was going to be like that. It looks so good. I remember I think I actually saw the first 10 minutes of it because I wanted to make sure it was a game I want to buy, but I didn't want to, have too much revealed to me that it was going to make me not want to buy it because I already spoiled it for myself. Or anything like that. But I saw it on there. I'm like, okay, it looks like Outlast 1 in a sense, but I played it on the PC, and it looks so good. For an Unreal Engine 3 game, Unreal Engine 4.5 is already out, but this is an Unreal Engine 3 game.
Okay.
3, and it looks that good. So imagine
really
if
good.
Outlast 3 comes out, and they're doing it on 4.5, which I don't see why not, or at least 4. Imagine how good that's going to look.
It's gonna be amazing.
That's gonna look amazing. It's gonna look fantastic.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll share more opinions too. Like once you beat it and all that, we can share like our overall opinion. But this is just going off from what we've seen so far. So, but everything I've seen was crazy. Like it's a disturbing game. It's his trip. You know what I mean?
It's a big trip. It is. It really is.
It's something you'll remember. It's a game that you'll remember, and that's good because there's a lot of horror games out there that you play and it's like, wow, that was kind of lame, and then you don't play it ever again. You don't remember it.
Oh, Slender the Arrival.
Yeah, it's like no one's gonna be like 20 years from now like, dude, do you play Slender the Arrival? No, because
dude,
it's not gonna happen.
I'm OG.
But Outlast 2, people are gonna be like, oh, that was crazy. I remember that experience.
It was, and I mean, I thought it was gonna be a marketing stunt. They started a Kickstarter. I don't know if you're aware of this. They started a Kickstarter that the game would come out and you would have a physical diaper to shit in because you would shit yourself playing this game. That's literally what this whole thing was. It has a little inverted cross where the crotch is, and it's a big black diaper. And it was like, this game is so scary, you're gonna crap yourself. Fund this project. People bought it, and I was like, that's just a marketing ploy to be like, dude, this game is so scary, you need to buy it. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it, and it's no joke, dude. There was a couple times where I could feel it trickle out a little bit at the urethra. I was like, okay, dude, this is an issue, and it was. And the one concern I have with this game, thus far, I have not completed it yet. I don't know much more than what I'm talking about right now. But as of right now, the setting is the same. It's outdoors. There's corn stalks. Oh, there's a little weird houses that are falling apart. Oh, and people are chasing you.
It gets repetitive. I mean, we'll see how it all plays out.
Oh, there's a school. There's a school too. But I mean,
Right. It's really weird, but like I can see what you mean. Like some of it seems kind of repetitive, so hopefully that kind of changes up throughout the rest of the game.
I hope it does. I think I'm not going to say yet because this part is not in the trailer or in the demo, so that would be a spoiler. But I think the setting might change a little bit, like really soon, and where I'm at in the gameplay.
It probably will, because there's only like so much of what we're already playing that can.
Especially if the game's that long.
Yeah, exactly. They can't have so many chapters with like you in a cornfield. That'd be so lame. But so yeah, I'm hoping it does change up. I'm interested to see more of the game, and the good anyone wants to see more, like if anyone wants to tune in, like and tune into Nyctomnia's stream and see him go on that crazy journey.
Yeah, that would be fun. It's one of those games that is pretty spooky, and I know that once I start playing it, I can't stop. Like the other day when I was streaming, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pause when I get to this point. Okay, no, I'm gonna pause when I get to this point. I'm gonna stop the stream when I get here. No, I'm gonna stop the stream when I get here because I couldn't stop playing it. And then that's why I'm not streaming today, is because I just like, if I pick up this game, I'm not gonna be able to put it down. I can't.
Right.
It's like physically, I don't have a physical copy. I can't physically put it down, but I can't hit that exit button. It's like it's weird. It's like you want to leave the game because it's spooky and the atmosphere is so well done that it makes you want to crap yourself. But at the same time, it's so good you can't leave. You're sucked into this world. Now, here's a thought. Imagine Outlast 2 on VR.
I honestly thought that it was going to be on VR. I mean, I didn't look up anything about it because, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about these games very much, but I thought it was going to have VR. I don't think it does, but
no,
like
I don't think
that game needs to have VR. That'd be like, I don't know how Resident Evil 7 was on VR. I heard like that's really the way to play it. Oh, okay. Well,
because like you would look down and you have floating arms from your elbow to your wrist was there, but everything gone. It was like one of your damn it, what are those Wii characters called when you make a character?
The Miis?
Miis. Yeah. It was like a Mii. Okay, yeah, the floating hands, and that was like in an arm, but that was it. Everything else was gone. So it kind of took the immersion out. But imagine, okay, you're hiding in a barrel. This girl with this pickaxe is coming after you. You're wearing nice headphones so you can hear her breathe, like right next to you. You're hiding in that barrel with the little holes in it. You're wearing your VR. You turn around, and her face is right there in that hole. And she goes, and it lifts up in that thing, grabs you and throws you, and then slams that thing right through your wiener. Dude, VR, they probably didn't make it in VR because they would get sued for all the people who would die of heart attacks.
Yeah, that game in VR.
Oh, just thinking about it,
done right, that game in VR would be just crazy. But
I couldn't imagine.
It's scary enough, just the way it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's well done. It's well done. It is a huge.
And it's hard to find games like newer horror games, in my opinion, at least, that are actually like scary. So because a lot of them are so overdone, I feel like. But Outlast 2 is definitely spooky. Like it's a crazy experience. I like it.
It is Outlast 1 or Outlast 2 is a huge improvement to Outlast 1. Outlast 1 really felt like it was an indie game. They took time on it. They looked good for what it was, but it felt like an indie game. Outlast 2 feels like a really good AAA game. And the good thing is, even though this game is a lot longer than a lot of the AAA games,
like Resident Evil 7, you can speedrun that and beat that. I think I've seen someone beat it in like 36 minutes or something. Yeah. So
compared to that was a $60 game. This is $29.99, and you don't.
Oh, really? I thought it was $60. No.
Nope, it's $30. $30. If you want, you can spend $40 and get Outlast 1, Outlast 2, Outlast 1, the DLC, which is Whistleblower. You get all three. It's called the Trinity Pack or something along those lines. $40, $10 extra. You get Outlast 1 and Outlast Whistleblower.
That's actually really
so they're
cool.
really good, and they're good with their community. They're good with the people, and they put out what people want, which is why I'm a huge fan of Outlast.
Who's the company that makes Outlast?
Red Barrels.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they're really good. I don't know the ending, so I'm not spoiling it for anybody because I don't know it myself. So some people were like, the ending was super confusing. I'm not sure. When I finish the game, I will make a follow-up report on the next podcast or on a follow-up
Definitely.
podcasts saying, yeah, never mind, I don't like this game, or I love this game, but it's fantastic. I don't know what people are saying, or but
Same. I'm trying to stay away. I'm trying to like stay away from social media
yeah, that's
as far as Outlast 2 goes, because yeah, people share their opinions publicly on like Twitter or something, and it's like I don't want to see that
yeah.
because I want to see the game when you complete it, and then like we can be like, oh, okay, that
I
game was awesome, or that game like was confusing. So
I almost was like, I'm gonna make a YouTube series playing Outlast 2, because even though I
that'd be cool.
don't care for the story for Outlast 1, it's a damn fun game to play, though. I mean, if you
Yeah,
don't
I
care
mean,
about,
you
if you're
should.
into speedrunning, not necessarily it's a story. The story, if I could talk right. I was like, sorry, thesaurus. No, it's a fun game. But I was like,
Yeah,
okay, well, that one takes just a couple hours to play. I can totally record that. I can make that a series. Each episode would be like 20 minutes long, and it would be like 100 episodes just to complete or at least 20 episodes or something. If I knew how to play, if I had a strategy guide with me and I knew how to play, it would still take me like 20 episodes to complete. As opposed to, I was teaching people how to play Outlast 1 and speedrun it, and that was only 6 episodes. And that was me going
right.
slow, doing all that stuff. Imagine, I could not imagine making it Outlast
Yeah,
2
the second
series.
one, I don't know if, like how the speedrunning would work. I mean, obviously it's still new, so people have to figure out everything. But yeah, either way, the second one's gonna be a crazy. I hope like after you beat the game and there's more out there, like hopefully like you can try speedrunning someday. But it seems like it's a really long game unless there's a lot of skips you can do. So I
Yeah,
don't know. We'll see though. But they might have like made this game so you can't do that as much as like the first one. Because the first one it seemed like you could just like go through walls, like climb on top of stuff, like you could do whatever you
that's
wanted. It
pretty much
seemed
what it was
like go
like.
through. You go, yeah, I was like it was crazy when I was watching you speedrun that game. It's
I'm
like
gonna give it a
wow,
couple months for people to find exploits. There's always exploits and everything.
totally agree with that.
Always.
Yeah,
Um, and no matter how good your beta testers are, no matter how good your developers are, and your level designers, there's always exploits and always glitches that can be used in
right,
one's arsenal to complete the game faster than it's meant to, or to skip things that is not meant to be skipped. There are people out
for
there
sure.
who uh, buy games and do everything they can in their power to break the game, to find exploits, and then not only to find them, but to share them with the world. And I think that's pretty cool, because in a couple months, I'm sure I'm going to go online and there's going to be people who are speedrunning the game. I can learn from them, because I don't want to waste my time trying to figure out all these exploits on such a huge game. I'll learn from them. I'll try my best to improve on it, and then start speedrunning the game. But what I'm doing is I'm going to beat the game first on my own, without strategy, without help. I'm going to complete it first, and that's when I'll start speedrunning it. I don't want to spoil it for myself.
Right, for sure. I agree. I agree with that. That's gonna be awesome, man. Can't wait.
I'm super pumped. I hope you get a PC, dude.
Yeah, I hope I do too. Honestly, like I'm in the process of do my best to save up for one. I'm looking to hearing back from some places, and I'm doing my best. I'm saving up, so hopefully, like definitely by like this summer, sometime this summer, I'll have a awesome PC that will work out, and then I can live stream more and edit more and do all types of stuff. Because right now, for those who don't know, I just have a laptop, and it's all right, but it's not made for like video editing or streaming video games or even playing games. But
The thing is,
it works out. But
you are very handy. You have learned to make do with what you got.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
almost not fair that I have what I have, in a sense, because I can be like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna render a 4K video in like 30 seconds at like super high
Yeah,
quality
it's like
1080,000 quadrillion p, and I'm gonna go take a bathroom
right.
break. I'll be back I'll download a 5-hour movie in 2 seconds, and it's not really fair. But when I go over there and I watch your streams, and I know what equipment you have, and I'm like, dude, he makes, for what he has, he makes the streams like professional.
I
Like, if I saw
appreciate
your
that, man.
stream and I didn't know who you were or what you were using, and I joined your stream, I'd be like, oh, this guy probably has like, probably $3,000 or $4,000 setup, just because of what you do, how you make things work, and how it looks for what you got. I'd be like, this
Yeah,
guy probably
I
has a $2,000
appreciate that,
PC,
dude.
probably has a bunch of monitors, nice equipment, stuff like that,
And really, I'm just using like my laptop.
from
Like
like Best Buy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I stream like some games on the computer. I stream, but I've been streaming like through the PS4 a lot as well, which is really great. It helps out a lot. I mean, it's not like the most professional thing, but yeah, I appreciate that. Like, I'm glad things
It's
are
good,
turning out
dude.
pretty well with what I have. Like, I'm doing my best to, and I'm gaining more followers. I mean, it's been fun. Like, ever since I started back in January, I guess I kind of started to get into it. Me and Oblivious to you. So
For
yeah,
those who don't know you, um, what do you do on Twitch?
I like to stream a big variety of games. I mean, I've been playing some games that I've played in the past, but I've been trying to do like a lot of blind runs. So like whoever follows me in my account will be like, hey, I want you to play this game, and if I can, like if it's a computer game, it all depends. You know what I mean? Like because my computer can't at the moment can't run like a lot of stuff. If it's like an older game or like an indie game or something, I can most likely stream it. But if it's like a PS4 game, then I can jump on the PS4 and play whatever's on there.
Yeah.
But lately I've been playing like, just a lot of like I'm gonna be probably streaming even tonight or sometime soon like the NES Classic, which is always fun, and I like have a viewer's choice where people come in and they just pick what games they want me to play. I have a poll up on my Twitter right now of what games I want, what games like people want to see me play on the NES, and then I
Links to
stream
the
like a
poll
lot
will
of
be in
board
the
games as
description
well.
down below.
Oh yeah, thank
So-
you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And then yeah, I stream like I'm a big fan of like horror games, so I'm gonna try to make horror games like a priority on my channel, and like Silent Hill, Resident Evil games, and plus like I would love to play like a lot of newer horror games I've never played before and blind run those. But lately I've been really getting into like just blind running a lot of games because I think people think that's really entertaining, and I've never played like certain games, so that makes it more fun as well. And then, of course, I stream a lot of Legend of Zelda games. So I love Legend of Zelda. Like, everyone loves Legend of Zelda.
Dude, that's
so
one of my
always
favorite
cool.
games of all time. Too bad I'm garbage at it.
Oh, Ocarina, you mean?
Yeah.
Ocarina? Yeah.
Oh, and when you go check out Endless's Twitch page, be sure to subscribe. I mean, follow. I
Subscribe
forgot
one day.
I forgot
Maybe
his-
one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
But for right now, I mean, I am very new to this, but I'm learning a
Dude,
lot.
you're doing
like,
good.
pretty quick, and yeah, I appreciate that. And I have a cool community. Like people are really cool, and I've been like blown away out of like all the people I've met so far, all the people I'm gonna meet in the future. Like it's a lot of fun, and hopefully one day I can be a Twitch partner. That's like my long-term goal. But for right now, it's a lot of fun. Like and I'm trying to work on my schedule more and make it so I stream like every other day. But yeah,
If you
if you
can't
guys
be
want, definitely tune in. You can follow me and you can get alerts and and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun.
if you can't be a Twitch partner, you can be my partner in life.
Ah, snap.
My partner in crime.
Oh.
But that was the dumbest. I'm on a tired spree. I stayed up till like 4 or 5 in the morning.
It's all right, dude.
I
It's
stayed
all
up till
about
like
that cheese, man.
I think it was
Where
4
you're
o'clock in the
cool.
morning. I was watching this guy try to beat the world record for Origins on Black Ops Zombies, and he got to like I believe 5th in the world or 5th or 6th.
Is
He
there
got
even
to,
an end to the zombie stuff?
I don't know. This guy has gotten to like 116. There's people who've done it.
Jesus.
But he's doing it solo with no revives. So he's on round 52 or 53. And I started watching when he was on like round 20 something. And I was like, he'll die soon. And I can go to bed because I had physical therapy this morning. And
Okay.
then I'm like, it's like 3 in the morning. And I'm like, please just die. I want to go to sleep. And I couldn't. I was just glued to the TV to the point where when I went to bed, I heard like the weird zombie voice in my head from Black Ops.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I don't know how to
I know what you
describe
mean.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they say, but I could hear like the insta kill like that in my head. Like I remember I just kept hearing insta kill in my dreams. I was like, what? I woke up like, man, I need to not do that ever again. But
That's
I'm
funny.
so tired.
So you probably haven't slept very much.
No, dude, I slept
understand.
probably about 2 hours, and then I was like in the mood. I'm like,
Should get some
we're
rest.
doing a podcast today.
Yeah,
I was
we
so excited
definitely-
about
I'm glad we are doing this, and hopefully we'll do like a lot more in the future. So
Now, here we are getting close to ending this podcast, but I want to ask you, do we feel safe giving a quick little announcement, but not too much?
sure.
If you know what I'm talking
Uh,
about?
Maybe
And
I do.
it's not porn? No. Did you see those
Maybe I do.
comments?
I don't know. I guess this is a
Okay.
surprise for me
Well,
too.
I'll explain what the announcement is, and I'll explain why I said not porn.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so Hunter and myself are in the midst of working on a project. No, the project isn't YouTube based or Twitch based or podcast based, nor definitely not porn based. Okay, but we are making a film. It is going to be a. I don't want to make a long movie. I don't want to make an hour, 30-minute, or 2-hour movie. I just want something that's short, sweet, to the point, gets the narrative across, gets the story across. Apparently, my words can't get across, but and gets the enough of a like. You and I are both super huge into David Lynch and
Right.
his his style of directing, his style of how he makes things happen. Twin Peaks is coming out back, by the way. We're gonna do a huge podcast on Twin Peaks. We're gonna do
Heck yeah,
podcasts on
can't
The
wait.
Walking Dead season
Yep.
8 when it
Can't
comes
wait
out.
for that. Right.
But we're both heavily inspired by David Lynch and the way he does it. And I want to put plot twists. Hunter and myself. I can't say Hunter wants to because he speaks for himself. I'm not his mouth, but
Well,
I want
I'm all
to.
about them plot twists.
Yeah, exactly. So, plot
I'm
twists.
all about them good twists.
Not stupid Paranormal Activity twists. Like we're
Oh,
not
God.
doing a Paranormal Activity film. This is something
Yeah,
that
that's
we are.
never gonna happen.
It's without getting into depth with it. It is going to be a, I guess you could say a horror film, but it's not like a blood and guts slasher film. It
I'd say
really
it's
leaves
more
a
like
lot to.
psychological.
It is. It leaves a lot to the imagination in a sense that the scariest thing that one can see in a film is not seeing. Leaving your
Exactly.
imagination up to whatever it may be. Maybe
Right.
we will show something. Maybe we won't. We're not giving too many details, but it is going to be a really good horror-based movie. At least good to us. If you don't like it, then I'm
Yeah, this
sorry,
is really
but this
like
is for us.
like we used to make films as a kid. I'll just say real quick, but like this is our first like official film like together where we have like the right equipment and where we can actually do what we've always wanted to do. So this is just like the start of mini. So yeah, we'll keep updated on
It's
that.
definitely indie, and not
Definitely.
pro for the sense that, or commercialized in the sense that we want to be able to control what is put out there. It is a very tight skeleton crew. Skeleton crew meaning we don't have 50 people on set. We don't have 50 people on location. We have
Right, just you and I and
a couple other
just a few
people,
others, so.
just a couple people, and in fact, to stay as true as possible to his and my own vision, we're gonna be the ones editing. I'm doing the audio. I'm doing the video. I'm doing not me, but like talking to you. Like we are doing this together. We are working on this. We're not.
Yeah.
We have input from people who are pros who've worked on big movies before. I'm sure many movies that you've all seen. We have them working with us, but they are not telling us what to do. They're not telling us to change our stuff. This is something that we want to do. This is something that we've wanted to do, and we're going to try to stay as true to our roots as possible, especially stay as true to what we believe in and as true to what we enjoy. There's too many people out there who want to make a cheap scare movie with just jump
Right.
scares, as opposed to leaving the mind to wander, leaving the mind to wonder as well, and to create a twist and a psychological type horror. They just want to be like, rah! And then it's, oh, that scared me, because of course the human reaction is going to jump back. You're not
Yeah,
actually scaring one. You're not freaking their minds out.
Cheap
You're
scares
just,
can get old. for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. So we're trying to stay away from that. We are really trying to work on something that is a psychological horror with you don't know which way it's going to go. One day I would like to work on a series, but trying to stay as true to our roots as possible.
Yeah, well said, man. Exactly.
It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about that. In fact, we're
I can't
scripting.
Wait to, we're doing a lot of work.
We're in the process of scripting right now. We're going to start doing some storyboarding. We've already shot some test footage to make sure that things were going to work the way we envisioned it and the way we imagined it. And guess what? It all turned out perfectly. In fact, better than perfect.
Better than expected.
Way better.
Honestly.
I was expecting to drop another $400 or $500 more on equipment, and then I realized what I had is better than I actually expected anything to be, even after all that stuff. So it's pretty awesome. I will keep you guys updated when more information comes out, obviously without telling you what it's about, exactly what's going on. Who's acting in it, or not giving any information out like that, besides the fact that we're going to be editing it because we want to keep our vision. We don't want someone to come in there and commercialize it and make a film that they just want it to succeed because they want to make money off of it. This is something that we want to see.
Yeah, we're doing this because we love filming, and this is something we've always wanted to do. I mean, we used to film when we were kids, growing up, and just random stuff. We would just go out and film movies in one day, and it was a lot of fun, and it's something that we've been looking forward to for a long time, and now we actually have the equipment and the ability to do so. So we're working on our first big project. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I'm excited. I can't wait to release more in the future.
And it's not going to be just like a YouTube video. I mean, this is going to be an actual film. So it's not going to probably be in movie theaters or anything like that. It is very indie, but we would like to have it in film fests. That is our main goal, is to be able to go to film fests and hang out with cool people and meet cool people and just chill and relax and max and all cool, shooting some b-balls out of school.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm gonna get copyrighted for that, but just to have fun, dude. I want to have fun. This has been a passion of Hunter and I's for so long. I mean, I was 10 years old when we started making YouTube videos. 10 years old. I'm 20 now, almost 20. So, well, maybe I wasn't 10. Something like that, though. I was really close to that age.
It was a long time ago, though.
Yeah, it was. We've been doing it for so long.
We were young.
We've always wanted to do this stuff. Finally, we have the chance to get this equipment and make a dream a reality. So that's what we're gonna do. You gotta grab life by its balls and be like, I'm doing things with you tonight. I don't know what that analogy is, but we're gonna do it. So, anyways, thank you all very much for watching the very first Nyctomnia podcast. I am your host, Jared, and my other
Hunter.
host.
That's right.
From Endless Sanctuary. Me from Nyctomnia, obviously. That's one name.
Yep.
But take care, all. I hope you enjoyed. Links will be in the description to Hunter's Twitch page, to his Twitch poll that he's doing for which game should be played next. I will have links to my Twitch page and probably some other stuff too. Anyways, thank you all for watching.
You guys.
This has been fantastic, and I will catch you in next week's podcast. Have a fantastic and wonderful day, boys and girls.